Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Brave story on the MysteriousJG. I have not played this game in quite a while. As I think I said at the end of the last video, because I listened to the last little bit to sort of refresh my memory. Yeah, I got into playing and played a whole bunch at a time and got way ahead. So now I had to wait until those videos were almost used up to play, which means I've had a long gap since I've played. That being said, we cleared out a whole bunch of optional quests and hunts and espers, and we really don't have anything to do except return to the plot at this point. So we can go find us a teleport crystal. And then we got to make our way all the way to Arcades, which is where the story wants us to go next. The game doesn't end at Arcades. Spoiler, I guess. But, I mean, it is the next big chunk of plot, is to get to the Imperial Capital. Kind of like Final Fantasy III, which I guess people insist on calling Final Fantasy VI just because that was its name in Japan. And makes the numbering of the games make sense, whereas calling it Final Fantasy III, because that's what I grew up with, no longer works, whatever. But you'll recall in Final Fantasy III, for the Super Nintendo, yeah, you go to the Imperial Capital, and there's a whole bunch of game left. We're kind of in the same spot here. That being said, it'll be interesting to get there and see what happens. I don't remember this section of the game very well, except that there was a kind of a big running around, not fighting side quest thing, similar to when you were in Bujirba and you had to go around to people and say, "Don't believe Andor's lies." Like, there's something like that. That's Final Fantasy geeks make fun of the game. I think it was something to do with earning your chops, or we'll find out. But yeah, there was a whole thing where, like, in order to actually get to the next section, you have to do a whole bunch of, like, you know, help the old lady across the street type of side nonsense. Despite the fact that in recent videos we've defeated Zeromus the Condemner and what's his name, the Judge Spar, whatever. Yeah, we're doing all sorts of, like, powerful optional bosses, but we're getting ready to go into a whole mode that is going to be made up of silly stuff where leveling up and becoming more powerful does nothing for us. That being said, I'm kind of curious, what hunts do we have open? Because I feel like we've done everything that we can do right now. And we have. And no new hunts are going to unlock until we advance the story. So it is well and truly time to actually do that. Now, where's the nearest teleport crystal? That's probably not going to get us there. We're at the east gate. Okay, I think the teleport crystal's at the south gate? Because yes, I am actually going to use teleport crystals rather than running at high speed through the entire map to get to the next zone. Because I do know where to get more teleport crystals, and although I don't think money is completely worthless yet, I imagine we'll find shops with fancy items soon. Actually, maybe it is kind of worthless, because we've got over 3 million gold right now. This is definitely one of those games where the very, very best equipment is not stuff that costs lots of gold. It's stuff that you can only get by, you know, you have to get a rare drop, 1% chance to drop from an enemy, and you need 10 of them, and then you need to combine them with this other rare drop, and then you take them to a shop where it costs you like 50 gold to combine. It's that type of game, not one where saving the gold is really a big deal. That being said, I got exactly 50 stones, so I feel bad using them. But the Soshin Cave Palace is where we gotta be. So we loaded up the truck and moved. Ravenester. Wait, no, we're in Ravenester. Sorry, we're moving to whatever the Imperial Capital's called. This is it. We're heading now. At long last. Is this the right way? Yes. We are heading at long last through the stone door to the Imperial Capital. This is presumably like a sewer? Like, why are people in the Imperial Capital not constantly wandering into the monsters of this cave palace? And why are the monsters of the cave palace not constantly invading the Imperial Capital? Perhaps we'll find out, but probably not. I'm already thinking about the Black Plague with these. Oh, he looks happy to be home.
Smells less like a capital, more like a sewer.
More like chocobos.
Even empires have need of sewers.
And you belong here,
The
sewer
runoff from
rat.
Arcades proper pools here. Those who lack papers to live in the city itself.
Papers?
The mighty who have
Skip
fallen,
papers,
and the
skip
fallen
papers.
who would be mighty. Their eyes never leave Arcades.
Which is why they're blind here.
Than this place.
They're wandering around here blind because their eyes were left behind in Arcades when they their rest of their bodies were, you know.
Oh, to be sure.
To be sure.
Arcades reeks of a different filth.
Now that you're here.
Let's be off. We can follow our noses to Draclo.
Follow your nose, it always knows. Thanks for not saying anything, Bosch, Pinello, Fran, and Ash. So, back in college, at one point, I was actually studying and never really did anything with it. But you know, I was with other kids in college doing, you know, trying to make like films and write scripts and stuff. And I remember writing a script, like a 30-minute episode of a TV show where some friends of mine were already writing and producing, and the lead writer guy complained that I'd written a scene in which almost all the characters were gathered, and he was like, yeah, but it's, and like I gave everybody little lines, but he was like, yeah, but I mean most of the characters aren't really important to the scene, and I was like, well, but I mean this is blah blah. Well, the point they came down to was like, because it was in college and we had a bunch of people who weren't being paid, and it was like, yeah, but that means we got to get all the actors to the set on the same day to shoot this scene, and really we could do it with these two people, and it would be so much. This occurs to me now because we just had a scene where only two people really had to talk at all, but because it's a computer graphics fantasy game, you could have all the main characters hang around in the background just kind of looking blank. Sorry, that's what popped into my head was the time I wrote a scene where most of the characters only had one or two things to add, or there were people in the background watching and making observations to each other as the main action played out, and being mildly criticized because that's going to make it difficult to shoot. We have to get all these actors here. Now we're in old Arcades. New Arcades will, I guess... Oh, New Arcades is New York City. Dun, 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 dun. New Arcades, I'm sure, will get its own graphical intro later. I would think that New Arcades would be not necessarily the slum, but that old Arcades, like really old Arcades, would be the fanciest place where only the richest people would live. We obtained Knot of Rust. Every time I see Knot of Rust, I feel like I just permanently lost my chance to win the Zodiac Spear or something super important. Now this is new. Plenty of worms come up out of the ground here, but not many of them are the sort with two legs. Come to make your fortune in the capital? A word of advice, worms. Turn back while you still have some guilt in your name. Thanks. I guess people truly do just, like, have never wandered through that passage before to see what's going on. Oh, God, I'm getting texts. It is Saturday. I hate to say it, but when I get a text, I'm almost always, like, worried that it has something to do with work. I just started the video, too. Come to buy information, or perhaps to sell. Knowledge is what makes this town work. Why, if I had a gill or a chop to spare, I'd make an offer for what you know right now.
Me, lost all my money, can't even afford an airship back home to Ravenasta.
Oh, I thought of going back through Soshin, but I hear some ancient worm
Looks down there, and I don't care much to run into one of those.
Sorry, I just threw in a pig oink, even though JG's not really doing a pigman voice. You think I could get away with these legs? Bah, I'm stuck here for life. Look, would you buy something to help a fellow out? Well, I mean, I'll tell you this much, buddy. The giant worm that's down there is in a passage that you need to solve a bunch of side quests to get to, so unless you've done a bunch of these side quests, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Either way, he sells some stuff that you would need if you were grinding in this area and for some reason couldn't teleport around the map. Welcome to Arcades, old Arcades, that is. The people here, they all took their dreams up to the city, had them stripped away and fell back down. Yours is an unfamiliar face. If you're here hoping to go up to the city, you best find yourself information that's like to interest the ardents and gentry. Word travels fast in this town. New information is born, grows old, and dies in a day. The Emperor's assassination, ancient history, my friend. That's probably really interesting and important news, because this would be our first hearing about the Emperor's assassination, I would think. That being said, now I've got a whole... the texts are dinging away like crazy, which makes it more likely that Bean is sending out pictures of the baby or something, and my mom is responding, and then my sister is responding, and maybe it's not work after all. Stair bottom elbow, wary woman. She was a vulgar. Now she's a wary woman.
Now that's a face I just like. The eyes, beady, shining. Eyes at sea, but now show. You know the sort.
Hey, whom do I speak of? Well, I assumed he was talking about us. Look, he's got some word tattooed on his chest too, or it's in his chest hair pattern.
Vain, of course. Only a man like that could do what he's done, killing his own two brothers in cold blood for opposing the Emperor.
Yeah, but apparently he killed the Emperor too. Not a rust. Great.
Headed to the city, are we? Gotta be a soldier like the rest of them, are you? I wish you luck. You go up there, you die like a little inside. Aye, a party goes gold and black. Just like them senators, I'd stay down here if I was you.
At least this guy... Well, I was about to say at least he's working, but he's fishing over not water. I tire of swapping tidbits of information in the street, though there's naught else I fancy doing, truth be told. That's the problem with success. What?
What can you catch here? Well, lots of things, I suppose. Depends on what you're fishing for. Me, I'm fishing for my past. For the fire of my youth. What? I cannot feed a family with the past, but you can keep yourself warm at night.
You know, else can keep you warm at night, friend. Never mind.
Me dad's the head of one of the big Fuck! Me dad's the head of one of them big entry prizes up in the city. You mean he was the head? He ain't the head no more. There's lots of them round here. Them used to be heads, I mean.
Not a rust. 2 gil. Oh, I could have used that too. I'm glad I scrolled away that 2 gil where no one could find it. Do you wonder why I sit here doing not day come, day go? Why? You used to chase fugitive slaves and then the Civil War ended? Wait, that's a different game. I've done me a bit for the Empire, that's why I've earned me rest. Don't you fancy a rest, young'un?
Do you have business with us? I'll tell you straight out. I'm supposed to be a woman, but I have a man's voice. We've no money, so don't even bother trying to relieve us of it.
So, the impression I'm getting is these people are poor. I screw up in the city, so I did. Of course, I was being played just the same, though I didn't know it. I've ruined so many men, 'tis all I can do now to hide myself here in hopes I don't run into any former clients.
What am I doing? Gathering tidbits and knowledge, that's what. Think I got bags of time like you oldies, 'cause I ain't.
Brother, man, if only we'd only brought them cockatrices when we had a chance, why we'd be rich today, so we would.
Cockatrices meet not have Stacy that have you believed. It's reason interest in them is a fad, you mark my words. Now cockatrices know our face the same.
Cockatrice?
Oh, mate, I've lived here a good while now, but I had a jolly hard time when I first arrived. The city was a far cry from my native Gaza, you see. But I've seen much in this town, people of all walks of life. Now that's an interesting thing.
Why are we able to understand it?
I've seen plenty of men who failed at it, lost their hope and their happiness, most sad. Why, hope's the most important thing of all. We cockatrices, we must hold on to hope even in our days in this world seem to be numbered. May I hope to see my homeland once more.
Why can we understand what it's saying? Or is the game just like goofing with us and we can't? But usually it would tell you at the end, or at least that's what you imagine it said. Talking cockatrices, folks. That's what's great about this town. I talked to the old man, but you... Oh no, you're the one who said,
I ain't got gobs of time like you gob shoits. Waka waka waka.
I mean, eventually, maybe these people will become clients in hunt missions, but otherwise, I can't really see a whole lot of point to this whole area other than, you know, set the stage that Arcades is a city with, you know, a distribution of wealth issue. Who am I? Ain't it plain to see? I'm one of the many who tried to make it up the city and fell back down here. If only I hadn't signed that paper. Yeah, I was an ardent with the rest of them. All it took was one broker, one blind in agreement, and nary a scruple in sight. If I find him, I'll... Hey, you want something? Oh, how to get to the city? Up these stairs and off to the west, entrance up there. Better be prepared, mate. Oh, I'm prepared, all right. I'm prepared to go up to the stairs, talk to someone, and find out that I have to do a side quest. Well, a main story quest, but apparently there's an earthquake occurring right now.
Once she gets going, she don't have to go on. I only hope her granddad sets it straight. Ain't my place to worry about it, I suppose.
She's gotta have it. Hey, it's Quiet Taker. It's actually Quiet Talker, but...
This geezer, nah, he ain't dead. Not by a stretch. He was a soldier once. Made it pretty far, it seems. He's lived a full life, if you ask me. And now he will rest in peace.
It's good to be home. Those who went up the city never came back. I'm kind of losing interest here gradually.
I'm bloomin' hungry for a bloomin' onion. Me mum and me gran keep telling me that sitting's best when you're hungry, but it don't seem to be working for me. Maybe if I had a chat with me mum, I'll forget about me empty belly. Or maybe not. I'm bloomin' hungry.
For bloomin' onions.
What?
We're here for your viewing pleasure, nor are we begging, nor are we sucking up your precious gutter. Not yet, at least, so get lost.
Away, my granddad was a right important man up in the city, don't you know?
Hush with thee, sweetheart. Begging your pardon, sir. Pay no mind her. She talks about things she knows little of. Oh, I've a lot in me past, but today I'm just one of the proud wretches of Old Town, clinging on to the underbelly of the Empire. Now leave us be. Whoa. The Moogles ate.
I think there was he sat to play Koopo Poopably Pulpadillo.
No, fuck, it's Tom Bombadil.
Said he'll take you far away, Koopo Poop Dee Po Yee. A gourmet tour promised us fucking Koopo nonsense, but all we had is curds and whey, Moogle, whatever the fuck.
I think, I don't know if Mookie Mog is watching any of my stuff anymore. I haven't seen him in the comments of any of my videos for a while, but I do remember him being upset that I was insulting Moogles. And, boy, I sure didn't stop, did I? And by upset, I mean it was hard to tell whether he was legitimately upset or just having fun with mock anger.
I've been told that joining the Watch is a good way to get on the world. The others tell me it's a hard life, full of choices. What to do. That's the problem with having too much information. It's difficult to make up your mind. See that bridge up there? On the far side of that is the Imperial City of Arcades. When I get a bit bigger, I'm going to be a soldier there.
Ah, so these generic soldiers who come from Arcades are actually people who made good and just getting the fuck out of Arcades because it sucks.
That Sikh over there seems a bit dodgy. Says he's a merchant of some sort, but I haven't seen him peddling any wares.
Oh, are you there? You look like somebody who knows a good deal when he sees it. So it's about some Moogles then, eh? I've got 8 of them. Discount if you take the lot. It's a bargain. They're cute. They dance.
Wow. Is he legitimately selling Moogles?
Sell me your children.
Is he legitimately selling Moogles, or is it like selling a Brooklyn Bridge situation where he gets your money and then you go up to the Moogles and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm off tomorrow to Destiny. Mark my words, I'll be the richest man at Arcady soon. I'll bring you a diamond big enough to prove it.
So soon? I know, I knew it would come in time. Spare me the diamond. Just stay true. I'll be waiting.
Aww. I thought she was going to mock him, but... My granddaughter claims she's seen a great ship. Of course, I thought it was the Alexander, that being the biggest I know of, but her description. Maybe they've made a new, bigger airship now. She doesn't half go on, but we can't talk to her, so whatever. Alright, let's turbo our way over to the bridge, where the story will continue. Oh, never mind. Their song is about a Sikh who told them he was... Yeah, okay, so they basically have been kidnapped by this Sikh. Well, that's messed up. I wonder if there's something we can do about that. I didn't actually bother to break open any kind of online FAQ about these side quests, so... Might end up doing that between videos. I'm not pretending I'm playing it blind, and I'm not looking at a FAQ as I go into every single area in every single video, but Lord knows... I've had videos where I just wander around back and forth aimlessly accomplishing nothing because I had to go to a fact and be like, oh, this is, you have to equip this stupid thing before you interact with this thing, and then you get to advance. Yep. Not a rust. I was about to guess not a rust. If I had, it would have been 2 gold pieces.
Hello there.
Mum,
No, don't bother trying to talk to her.
my sister's not stopped looking off into the distance since her fellow went up to the city. Oh, me, I'm ready to begin a new life up in the city, that's for sure. I've been tricked out of all I owned before, but this time I'll go prepared.
Know where the alley of muted swords got a name? See, there's 2 kinds of people here. Them as want to go up to the city, and them as want to keep those people down here where they belong. Tell them lies and spreading misinformation to confuse them. Them poor ones would never made it up. They're the ones with a sign, see? You weren't headed up to the city, were you?
Psst, I'll tell you a secret. Stays between us two, right? I spied something incredible just now. What would you like to know?
'Twas a scroop.
Big old coin. Bag of coin. Just thrown in a barrel it was. With a hoard like that, the city be me oyster. Now don't go telling anyone, yeah?
Well, why did you tell me? Ah, fuck, this text in yellow. We're probably supposed to be writing this down, and probably there's this quest that gets us into the city will have to do with figuring all that shit out.
Trying to go up to Arcades, perchance? I know the type. Our hopes and dreams with never-ending knowledge. You wouldn't venture into battle without a blade, am I right? To go to the city without the proper knowledge, why, it is the same thing. And I tell you something else, it was knowledge what brought them senators to their knees, and that's the truth. Still want to go to the city? Uh-huh.
Me gran's got me worried. She keeps on talking about going to the city and making a fortune. Making a fortune? She's old. Old people don't deserve good things.
It's Beasley. It's Ron Beasley. Don't think you can look down on me. I'm saving me guild to get out of here and up there. Well, I've got a bag full of coin put aside already. That is, I had a bag full of coin till someone came along and stole it. God, I wish I was sure to be safe as houses in that barrel too.
Not a rust.
You going on from here? On from here's Arcades. You go on there, you best watch yourself. People there, they pluck the feathers from a living chocobo if they thought they could make a profit on them. I'd turn back if I was you.
So this is like the most dangerous zone in the game because people want money.
My name is Otto. I love to get blotto. You think you might not stare at me? I'm in the middle of a very important conversation, dude. Come to hear a tale, perhaps? There's a lot to be learned from the stories of the past. A lot for you youngsters seem to have forgotten. To your peril, you should show a little more respect for fairy tales.
Oh yeah, fairy tales will help us in this situation, I'm sure. Hey, it's Jules and Jim on ice. Might a boy be in the market for some information? Sorry, I've none but selling. Such a boy would be wise to pass on anything heard to me, though. I'll pay a good price for goings-on in the Ministry of Law in the Senate. A boy could stand to make a profit. Best not speak to me, lest my ill luck rub off on you. I've lost everything. Everything. Ah, if I'd only had the right information. Information about the Autobots. That is vaguely a reference for Bobo, and he's not watching this series, so let's move on.
I planned to go to the city with my bow, Bo Crockett. But he kept me waiting for hours. I expect he's lost. He's so provincial.
Not a rust. Great. That changes everything. Spent some time in the city, working for the man every night and day. JG isn't going to read my dialogue properly because it has nothing to do with things.
The city's just up these stairs. Yed says all I've got to do is walk up them, but me feet are trembling. What with the assassination and all?
Wow, I guess we really are up. The game's going to tell us we can't advance here. You can see on the map, it's redded out up there. And be like, look, dude, we've almost got enough espers to go after Zodiac in the henna mines. Spoilers for optional content that's dozens of videos away, but we can't get into can't get out of old Arcades for some reason. Enter the capital. You have credentials. I have not. No credentials. We can't just throw open all gates to any old riffraff who happens to be passing by. Be off with you, Commodore. Well, quest over.
Well, there's a sight for sore eyes. Didn't think I'd be seeing you again. Not here.
I guess we didn't bother to pay the voice actors here. Oh, wonderful. Well, to the street here.
A pirate would do well to smile. Wouldn't want to sour his reputation.
You know this guy? An old friend. He's a street here. A peddler of rumor and hearsay by the name of Jules. He'd bite a gill given him by his own mother and shave it by half to pay for her funeral. That's a good line, actually.
Sometimes an ear with the tight purse strings. The order of the day. Like when a pirate decides he fancies going up in the world.
To the city? Uh-huh. You know a way? I like that I get to do some voice acting here.
In Arcades, knowledge is power. And power has a way of opening doors, boy. Now a fool will buy a sack of feathers for his pillow, but a wise man... he'll buy the whole stinking cockatrice and get his fill of meat into the bargain.
I would think that the cockatrice costs more than the feathers, but go on.
So, wise man, how does 1,500 gills sound?
Oh man, I'm really curious what happens if you decline, so let's decline. Nope.
You would do well to learn the ways of the world, boy, unless the world have its way with you.
Oh, okay, well I guess that didn't hurt anything. I wonder if the entire scene will replay now. I have. Well, I don't see. I know you can't just throw up the gates for the vulgar, especially not the lion kind. Away with you. I guess it just jumps right back into the conversation where it left off. Alright. I don't imagine any harm was done by us not accepting on the first try. But I still think I'm going to call it a video, check my phone messages, load the game, and actually go through that cinema scene again and just go in without interruption. Like, accept on the first try. I don't think it does anything, but whatever. When we come back, folks, we will continue talking to this guy. It's going to be awesome. See you.